Hello friends, I hope you are having a wonderful day. Today I have a process video for you of me decorating this Cascading flipbook. I've also heard these called waterfall flipbooks, so whatever you prefer to call them, but basically it has one tab in the back that you pull and all of the pages open up by themselves. So I'm showing you what I'm using. I have lots of Flourish stuff left over. I have a few chipboard pieces, I have the tassels, I have most of the ephemera, like especially the floral pieces, and then some random stuff from that pen pals have either sent me or that I've picked up over the past few months that I've been meaning to finish off and use. I also have some rosettes, I have some scrap papers, and some leftover stickers. So I'm starting with the cover. I thought that'd be a good place to start, and I kind of already had a plan in mind. I knew that I wanted to have like I originally wanted to make a wreath, but because of how big the flowers were, I didn't think that was gonna work. So instead I decided to use the flowers and kind of make a border on the bottom for my title, which is hello. And that worked out way better than the wreath did, and I think it turned out really pretty. So I'm just kind of arranging the flowers in a way that I think will look good and hot gluing them as I go. And then I also added in this gold leaf. So this flip book I actually did not make. I know there are lots of tutorials on YouTube and on people's blogs of how to make these. I've seen some really complex ones as well as simpler ones, so I'm sure if you did some digging and looked around you could find one pretty easily. I actually bought this flip book from Tuesday Morning. It came in a set of 2. This is a larger flip book, and then there was one more that's a little bit smaller. And I thought this was such a fun idea because it's already made for you and all you have to do is decorate it. So that's what I decided to do, and this was literally like a couple of hours after I came home with it. I just had so many ideas of what I wanted to use it for. And you can see on the front it looks a little bit yellow, but it's actually gold foil. So it went really well with the Flourish collection because most of the stuff in that collection is gold foiled, and these stickers are gold foil or gold glitter as well. So added those as well as the florals, and this is the finished cover. It's not perfect, like the thickers aren't perfectly aligned, but I don't know, I like it like that. I think it looks pretty. So now I'm showing you that I have already put all of the paper, like I pre-measured them, pre-cut them, and then went ahead and glued them on just so that the video wouldn't be too long, because when I first filmed this it was like I think 52 minutes long, and that was sped up, so I had to do a lot of cutting, so I decided to just go ahead and cut that part because I didn't think it was that interesting anyways. So I skipped right into decorating, and I also decorated that front cover, but I lost the footage for that. I think it was whenever I was doing the pages that I deleted, so unfortunately you don't get to see me decorate that, but you do get to see how it looks in the end. So I'm jumping right in. I'm moving pretty fast. I kind of already had ideas about what I wanted to do with these pages, and because they were so plain, like the backgrounds were somewhat muted, I felt like I could do a lot and it was really easy to work with. So I went ahead and laid down that gold doily, and then you see me cutting the back of it to make it look like it's coming out of the side of the page. And then lots of tag layering in this video. I used lots of different tags. The Flourish collection has an abundance of them in the ephemera packs as well as the chipboard and sticker sets. So was not at a shortage for tags. I actually felt like I needed to use them up, so you'll see I use them quite a lot in this video. I'm also trying to use up some washi. I feel like I never use washi in any of my projects except for maybe pocket letters, so I've just been looking over the stash that I had. I got rid of a lot that I knew I wasn't going to use, but kept some that I felt like, you know, I could use on different projects, mostly like plain colors, so I find those ones are a little bit easier to use. So now I'm working on the first page. I don't know why I'm working backwards, but that's just the way I do things sometimes. So I made my own tag for this page, but I realized that I really didn't like the way that it looked. I think I cut it weird and it was just kind of crooked. So you see me playing with that, but I ended up tossing it because I just could not get it to look right. And here I'm making my own tag again, but this one does turn out a little bit better. And to do this, it's really simple. All I did was I cut the corners just like that, picked it up, lined it up with the other side, and then cut the corner again so that way it was even on both sides. You can see it's still not quite perfect. It's a little wonky, but I don't know, I think it fits with the project. Nothing really turned out exactly the way that I wanted it to with this project, but I don't know. I still think it looked good in the end, which is what that's the big thing that matters. So here I added a piece of gold washi on it before I punched it. I got this idea from somebody on Instagram. I can't remember exactly who, but they do this for most of their tags, and I think it looks so pretty, and it just adds such a fun little detail. So I did that before I punched the hole, and then you can see I'm trying to fix this rosette, and I added a gold leaf behind that, and I glued that right on. Now, whenever I laid down the tag, I realized that it blended into the background a little bit too much, so I was trying to add some stuff to the page that would distract from how easily that pink blended in. So the first thing I did was I took out these pearls that I got from the dollar store, and I added that as a border on the top, but then I felt like it still wasn't enough. So what I did was I looked through my scraps, and I found this kind of tan book piece. It looks like it's from like a book page, but it's not. It's actually a paper from the collection. I liked the way that looked, but I still felt like it was not enough. So what I did was I found another scrap, and then I layered those two on top of each other, and then I put the tag on the two papers once they were together. I thought that would do a good job of making the tag stand out, and I think it did. And I believe that I stapled these ones, and for some reason I just really like the way that the staples looked on this project. Like, I stapled lots of tags, and it just kind of adds like a more vintage handmade type of look, which was what I was going for. So I thought it worked out, and then whenever I put the tag on there, I was really happy with it. Finally looked like how I wanted it to. So that's just me hot gluing it down. I've been using hot glue for everything lately. I just got a new hot glue gun, and it's so easy to use, and it heats up super fast. So sometimes I think it's quicker than using tape because it just dries way quicker, and you don't have to get the tape to start working, and then it gets too sticky, and then it gets everywhere. So sometimes I just prefer to use hot glue, which I guess it still gets everywhere sometimes, but for me it's a more reliable source of adhesive, so that's what I use for most of my projects lately. Yeah, and then I also, to finish this off, I added a little tag that says happy. My pen pal Kathy made those for me. She made me a really cute set, and they're adorable. I'm almost out of them, so I have to look for something similar. So on this page, I decided that I wanted to have a pocket where I could gift my pen pal some ephemera pieces from the collection, as well as some tags. So what I thought would be really cool was if I glued a bunch of these houses together to make it look like a little village, and then just hot glued around the three sides, and that way it was a little pocket. So that's exactly what I did, and the first step to doing that was just getting them how I wanted. So having some on top, some behind, some farther away, and then so in order to keep from things sticking inside the houses, like you could see there, I just put a piece of paper on the back of it, so that way things could easily slide in and out without getting caught on the hot glue from the back or the bits of paper left over. So that's what I'm doing here, and then like I said, I put hot glue around 3 of the 4 sides, and that way I could easily store stuff in the middle. And then I felt like the page was a little bit plain, and I wanted it to have a little bit more, so I found this butterfly piece of ephemera, which this is one of my favorite pieces. It's so pretty. I love that color, and with the pink, it's just perfect. It's the perfect color combination for me. So I thought that would be really pretty, and it kind of matched the page next to it as well as the houses. But then as I put that there, I realized it was probably going to be covered up, and that made me sad. So I was trying to find a different page where I could put it on and where it would stand out. So you'll see I put it on all of the pages, and then I decided to take a break from it for a little while because I still don't know what I'm going to be doing with all the pages. So instead I just go ahead and put all these tags and labels and that kind of thing inside the pocket, see how it's gonna look, and then yeah, that was pretty much it for that page. I think I did add the little love chipboard piece just because it was something small that I was able to use up. So now you'll see I really wanted to use it on this page because the colors just went so perfect together. but the blues are identical. So I was trying to find something else to go underneath it besides the gold that I could use. And I decided to use this pink piece of paper because it matched the flowers so well, and then it also matched the ephemera piece. So it turned out pretty good. You can see I didn't have it all the way lined up at the top, but you can't really notice whenever you're looking down at it. It's just because of the way my camera is angled, it kind of sees everything from the top. But I mean, you live and you learn, and like I said, this was a far from perfect project, so I'm just happy with the way it turned out regardless. And once I added that on there, I felt like the page was complete, like it really didn't need much more. It was a more simple page. So I go ahead and turn it around, and next I'm trying to figure out what to do on this page, and I decide to go with my, I do this on almost every flipbook now, but it's basically putting some sequins into a glassine bag, and then if you have any sort of frame or like tag or something to go on top of it that matches the sequins, it always works out really well. Because the glassine gives it that kind of different texture. It's almost like a piece of vellum. So what I did was I hot glued that down onto the frame, and then went ahead and added all of my sequins, lots of different colors. One of the sets was pre-made that I had bought, but I wanted to blend a little bit more with the Flourish collection, so I ended up adding a few more. And I wish that I would have like mixed it before and then just put in a few sequins, because this actually ended up being really chunky, and it made the flip book super thick and hard to close. But you know, far from perfect, like I said. But yeah, this is super easy to do, and I feel like it just adds the prettiest look to any, like you could do this on scrapbook layouts. I've done it in mini albums, and it always turns out really pretty too. But yeah, just don't add too much, because it makes whatever you're working in a little bit hard to either slide into a page protector or close the mini album or flipbook. But I decided to put it on this page, and then I tried to find an ephemera piece that would look good on top, and I ended up going with the butterflies because it had like a little border of the gold foil which matched the frame, so I thought that looked really good together. And then moving on to the next page, like I said, I wanted to use a lot of tags, so I ended up stapling this tag to a scrap piece of paper from the Gather collection, which always goes so well with the Flourish. I love the way these two collections look together. I wish I had more of the Gather collection actually, so that I could jazz it up a little bit more, but it's alright. So we are encountering the last few pages of this flipbook project that I made. It was really fun to make, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I know it was one of my shorter videos, kind of sweet and simple, but I had fun making it, and I hope you guys like it too. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any requests, you can comment down below and leave me any ideas that you have about what you would like to see. But yeah, this is what it looked like. This is what it looks like when it's all finished. I'm going to show you the pages. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.